Sir, please. Your son. Jae-won shoves past the airline employee, shoes skidding on polished terminal floor. Gate 47. His chest is a clenched fist. He hears it before he sees it. That specific pitch of Minjun's panic, the one that splits his sternum open every time. His son is on the ground, curled tight between steel pillars, hands clamped over his ears, rocking. The airplane backpack, navy with that stupid subway map print Minjun refuses to leave home without, lies 3 feet away like evidence of disaster. Overhead, gate announcements boom in synthetic cheer. Flight 804 now boarding. Final call for passengers. Too loud. Always too loud. Sweetheart, can you tell me your name? A flight attendant crouches near Minjun, voice sugary and useless. She reaches for his shoulder. Anya! Anya! Minjun screams, folding smaller. Jae-won's throat closes. He's still 10 meters away, trapped behind a bottleneck of travelers dragging luggage, oblivious to the small boy breaking apart in public. His phone buzzes. Ji-hoon, probably, asking where the hell he disappeared to mid-meeting. He silences it, pushes harder through the crowd. Then he sees her, a woman in a beige blazer and black dress pants, carry on abandoned mid-corridor. She moves differently, slow, deliberate, like she's underwater. Doesn't rush toward Minjun. Crouches a full meter away, respecting the radius of his crisis. She pulls a scarf from her neck, drapes it over her arm to create a visual shield against the chaos. Jae-won stops. The woman's voice cuts through the noise, low and steady as a bass line. Hey, I see you. It's too loud, right? She doesn't wait for an answer. Takes out her phone, swipes, taps, sets it on the floor, not in Minjun's face, but in his line of sight. A video. A sleek bullet train gliding silent on tracks, rhythmic and predictable. Minjun's fingers uncurl, just slightly. The woman reaches into her bag, pulls out black over-ear headphones, offers them palm up like a truce. She doesn't speak again, just waits. 5 seconds. 10. Minjun takes the headphones, slides them over his ears. His breathing slows from rabbit fast to something close to human. Jae-won feels his knees unlock. The woman stays beside Minjun, not touching, just present. She hums something under her breath, a melody Jae-won can't place, but that makes his son's shoulders drop half an inch. He approaches finally, legs mechanical. The woman notices him, looks up. Her eyes are dark and cautious, framed by exhaustion he recognizes in his own mirror. She stands slowly, steps back to give him space. Minjun sees his father, doesn't let go of the headphones but crawls toward him, burrows into the safety of his chest. Jae-won wraps his arms around his son and feels the earthquake in his own hands. He looks at the woman, opens his mouth, closes it. Corporate negotiations, billion-dollar contracts, hostile boardroom takeovers. None of it prepared him to thank a stranger for doing what he's failed at for 7 years. Thank you. His voice cracks. She nods once, picks up her suitcase. Professional. Distant. Before she turns away, she says something that lands in his chest like a stone. He's not difficult. The world is just too loud for him. Then she's gone, swallowed by the crowd. Jae-won holds his son tighter and realizes he doesn't even know her name. If you've ever wondered whether 30 seconds can rewrite a life, keep reading. Because this is how 2 impossible families collided. And if you want more raw, real stories that don't look away from the hard parts, subscribe and help us keep writing the narratives that matter. Baitor 3 weeks later, Serenity Monroe sits in her Brooklyn apartment, staring at an email she's read 4 times. Subject: Consulting Proposal, HanLogic's Global Accessibility Project. Ms. Monroe, we are reaching out regarding a 12-month international consultancy to design neurodivergent-friendly protocols for our global logistics AI platform. Compensation: 1.2 Manners USD. Relocation assistance to Seoul negotiable. Flexible schedule respecting your current client load. We believe your expertise is unmatched. Best regards, Park Ji-hoon, CFO Han Logix Global. Serenity closes the laptop, leans back against the couch. Across the room, Malachi is on the floor with his sketchbook, tongue between his teeth, coloring Saturn's rings in gold gel pen. "Mommy, do you think Saturn ever gets lonely?" he asks without looking up. "Why would Saturn be lonely, baby?" "Because it has all those rings, but no one close enough to touch." Serenity's chest tightens. "Maybe the rings are how it protects itself." Malachi considers this, nods, goes back to coloring. Grace's voice echoes from the kitchen where she's rummaging for snacks. "So, are you going to tell me why a Korean tech giant is offering you more money than God? Or do I have to guess?" "I don't know." "You don't know? Or you don't want to know?" Grace appears in the doorway, holding a bag of pretzels. She's still in scrubs from her hospital shift, hair tied up, eyebrow raised. "Because I looked them up. Han Logix is huge. CEO is that Han Jae-won guy, Forbes 40 under 40, blah blah blah." Serenity's stomach flips. It's probably random. "Girl, nothing about $1 million consulting offer is random." Grace drops onto the couch beside her, studying her face. "What aren't you telling me?" Serenity exhales. 3 weeks ago at JFK, I helped a kid who was having a meltdown. He was autistic. I calmed him down before his dad got there. Grace waits. The dad looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor. Really grateful, really overwhelmed. I didn't think anything of it. And the email signature says Seoul headquarters. The CEO is Korean. Serenity swallows. "Grace, what if it's him?" Grace stares, then laughs, sharp and incredulous. "Wait. You think a CEO tracked you down to offer you a job because you helped his kid?" "I don't know. Maybe. That's either the most romantic thing I've ever heard or the beginning of a psychological thriller." Grace crunches a pretzel. "What are you going to do?" Serenity looks at Malachi, still lost in his drawing. She thinks about the boy at the airport, Min-jun, she'd later learn, and the way his father's hands shook when he held him, the desperation in his eyes. She thinks about the rent increase notice stuck to her fridge, the waiting list for Malachi's next OT eval, the fact that she hasn't taken a real vacation in 4 years. She thinks about Marcus, her ex-fiancé who told her that Malachi's autism was manageable if she just tried harder, who suggested medication before understanding, who made her feel like her son was a problem that needed solving instead of a person who needed loving. She'd given Marcus back the ring on a Tuesday. Quiet. No drama. Just a realization that she would always choose Malachi, and Marcus would always resent that choice. That was 3 years ago. She hasn't dated since. "I'm going to say business only," she murmurs. "If I do this, it's work, nothing else." Grace snorts. Famous last words. "I'm serious. I won't put Malachi through that again." Some CEO feeling grateful doesn't mean he understands what it means to actually be in our lives. And if he does understand, then I'll deal with that when it happens. Serenity opens her laptop again, pulls up the email. But I'm not holding my breath. She types a response. Professional, boundary setting, clear. "Mr. Park, thank you for your interest. I'd be happy to discuss the consultancy. However, I need to be transparent. I'm a single mother with a son who has specific needs. My schedule is non-negotiable, and I cannot relocate permanently to Seoul. If those terms are acceptable, I'm interested in learning more. Best, Serenity Monroe, MS, OTRL." She hits send before she can second-guess herself. Grace reads over her shoulder. "You really went with the I have a kid and boundaries approach?" If that scares them off, they weren't serious. And if it doesn't? Serenity looks at Malachi, who's now drawing what appears to be a small figure standing on Saturn's rings. Then I guess we find out. The response comes 4 minutes later. "Ms. Monroe, your terms are more than acceptable. They're admirable. Would you be available for a video call tomorrow at 2 p.m. EST? I think you'll find this project aligns well with your values. Park Ji-hoon. Grace whistles. 4 minutes. That's either efficiency or desperation. Or both. You gonna take the call? Serenity looks at the number on the screen. $1.2 million. Enough to move to a better school district. To get Malachi the private therapies insurance won't cover. To stop choosing between paying rent and buying the weighted blanket he needs. Yeah, she says quietly. I'm taking the call. Jae-won is in his office on the 34th floor of the Han Logix building in Midtown Manhattan when Ji-hoon walks in without knocking. She accepted. Jae-won looks up from his screen. What? Serenity Monroe. She accepted the consulting contract. Ji-hoon drops a folder on the desk, grinning. You're welcome. Jae-won closes his laptop slowly. You didn't tell her that you've been obsessing over finding her for 3 weeks? That you made me pull security footage from JFK and cross-reference it with every OT and pediatric therapist in New York until we found her LinkedIn? Ji-hoon sits on the edge of the desk. No. I told her we need the best accessibility consultant in the country. Which, by the way, she is. So technically, I didn't lie. Ji-hoon. Relax. The contract is legitimate. The project is real. She's brilliant, and we need her expertise. Ji-hoon's grin fades slightly. But yeah, I know why you really wanted her. Jae-won pinches the bridge of his nose. Min-jun hasn't stopped asking about her. And you? Silence. Hyung. Ji-hoon's voice softens. It's the only time he drops formality, when they're alone and the truth matters. You can't build a relationship on gratitude. I know. Do you? Because if you hired her just to see her again. I hired her because she understood my son in 3 minutes better than every specialist I've paid in 3 years. Jae-won's voice cuts. And because if there's even a chance she can teach me how to do that, I'll take it. Ji-hoon studies him, then nods. Okay, but when she figures out you're the guy from the airport, and she will, you better have a damn good explanation ready. I'll handle it. Yeah. Ji-hoon stands, heads for the door. Pauses. For what it's worth, I hope you're right about her. The door closes. Jae-won opens his laptop again. Pulls up the security footage he's watched a dozen times. The woman in the beige blazer, kneeling on dirty airport tile, offering headphones to a stranger's child. The way she didn't flinch. Didn't perform pity. Just saw a boy who needed the world to stop screaming at him. He watches the moment Min-jun takes the headphones. The way his son's body uncurls, just slightly. The way the woman stays perfectly still, giving him space to regulate. Jae-won has spent 7 years learning his son's triggers. 7 years reading books, attending workshops, hiring specialists. And this stranger did instinctively what he still has to consciously think about. He closes the video. Opens a different file. Min-jun's therapy notes from the past month. Patient continues to show reluctance to engage with new adults. Requires extensive warm-up period. Recommend maintaining consistent caregivers. Patient asked multiple times about the airplane lady. When shown photo, provided by father, patient smiled. First spontaneous smile in session in 6 weeks. Jae-won's throat tightens. He'd asked Min-jun's therapist to keep the inquiry casual, not to push. But his son had volunteered the information. Had asked, unprompted, if he would see the nice lady again. There's a soft knock. The door opens and Min-jun peeks in. Abba. Appa, Dad. Hey buddy, come in. Min-jun walks in slowly, dragging his backpack. He's still wearing the headphones. Hasn't taken them off except to sleep. Is it time to go home? Jae-won asks. Min-jun shakes his head. Walks to the window, presses his palm against the glass. It's a self-soothing behavior, the cool surface, the pressure. Jae-won joins him, doesn't crowd him, just stands nearby. I was thinking, Jae-won says carefully. Remember the lady at the airport? Min-jun nods. How would you feel about seeing her again? Minjun turns, eyes wide. 정말요? Really? Maybe. She's going to help us with some work stuff. But I wanted to make sure you'd be okay with that. Minjun nods vigorously, then stops. Will she remember me? The question cracks Jaewon's chest open. Of course she will. What if she doesn't want to see me? Why wouldn't she? Minjun looks down. Because I was loud. And people don't like loud. Jaewon crouches, bringing himself to his son's eye level without forcing eye contact. Minjun, she helped you because she wanted to. Not because she had to. That means she's a good person. And good people don't stop caring just because someone needs help. Promise? I promise. Minjun thinks about this. Then, can I bring her something? A thank you? Like what? I made a drawing of the train, the one from her video. Jaewon's eyes burn. I think she'd love that. Minjun smiles, small and tentative, but real. He goes to his backpack, pulls out a carefully folded piece of paper, shows it to his father. It's a bullet train, silver and sleek, with thank you written in careful English letters at the top. It's perfect, Jaewon says. Do you think she'll put it on her fridge? I think she'll treasure it. Minjun folds it back up, tucks it into his backpack. Okay, I'm ready to go home now. They leave together, and Jaewon feels something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. The first meeting is scheduled in a glass-walled conference room in Han Logix's New York office. Serenity arrives 10 minutes early, dressed in a charcoal blazer and cream blouse, portfolio tucked under one arm, professional armor. Grace's parting text sits unread on her phone. If he's fine and rich, I expect a full report. Serenity smooths her hair, checks her reflection in the elevator doors. She's done this 100 times, pitched to executives who underestimate her, smiled through microaggressions, proved herself in rooms that didn't want her there. She can do this. The elevator opens. She steps into the corridor and nearly collides with a small boy. Minjun. He's holding his airplane backpack against his chest, eyes down. But he stops, looks up. His face shifts, recognition, relief, something close to joy. It's you, he breathes. Serenity's heart trips. Hey, hi. She crouches, mindful of space. It's nice to see you again. Minjun doesn't speak, just reaches into his backpack and pulls out the headphones. Her headphones. He holds them out like an offering. I kept them safe, he says. Abba, Dad said you might want them back. Serenity's throat tightens. You can keep them, sweetheart. They look good on you. Minjun smiles. It's small and quick, but it's there. Then, carefully, he pulls out the folded paper. I made you something. He hands it to her. She unfolds it slowly. The bullet train, the careful lettering, the specificity of the details. He'd drawn every window, every line of the body. Minjun, she whispers. This is beautiful. Do you like trains? I like anything that makes people happy. And this train made you happy, right? He nods. Then I love it. Minjun. Jaewon's voice, calm but tense. He steps out of a nearby office and the air shifts. He's in a navy suit, no tie, and when his eyes land on Serenity, something flickers across his face. Surprise, guilt, hope. Serenity stands, stares. You, she says slowly. Ms. Monroe. Jaewon bows slightly, formal. Thank you for coming. She doesn't move. You're the CEO. Yes. You hired me. Yes. Her jaw tightens. Was this whole thing... Did you track me down? Ji-hoon appears in the doorway behind Jaewon, looking sheepish. Okay, before anyone gets mad, let me just say that we legitimately need an accessibility consultant, and you are legitimately the best. Did you use your son to manipulate me into taking this job? Serenity's voice is ice. No. Jaewon steps forward, and she sees it. The exhaustion, the desperation. I used my resources to find the person who helped my son when I couldn't. The job is real. The project is real. If you want to walk away right now, I'll pay the cancellation clause in full and you'll never hear from me again. Serenity looks at Minjun, who's watching them both with wide, worried eyes. His hands are starting to flap. A stim, a sign of rising anxiety. She takes a breath, softens her voice. Minjun, none of this is your fault, okay? The grown-ups are just talking. He nods but doesn't stop flapping. She looks back at Jae-won. I need 5 minutes, alone, to think. Of course. He touches Minjun's shoulder. Come on, buddy. Let's go to my office. But Serenity. She'll be here when we get back, I promise. Minjun looks at her. She nods. I'll be right here. He follows his father reluctantly. Ji-hoon lingers. For what it's worth, he hasn't been able to think about anything else since the airport. Neither has Minjun. That's not my problem. No, but maybe it could be your opportunity. Ji-hoon adjusts his glasses. Look, I've known Jae-won since college. I've never seen him like this. He's not trying to manipulate you. He's just desperate to understand his kid. And you're the first person who made that seem possible. So I'm what? A solution to his parenting problems? No. You're a lifeline. And whether you take it or not is up to you. But that little boy in there? He's been carrying your drawing in his backpack for 3 weeks. He sleeps with those headphones. He asks about you every single day. Ji-hoon heads toward the door. Just think about that. He leaves. Serenity sits in the conference room, surrounded by glass and steel and the weight of a decision she didn't ask to make. She pulls out her phone, calls Grace. Hey, how's the meeting? He's the dad. Silence. Then, what? The CEO. Han Jae-won. He's the father from the airport. He tracked me down. He hired me. Holy shit. Grace, what do I do? Do you think he's trying to manipulate you? I don't know. He says the job is real. Is it? Like, if you looked at the project details, would it make sense without the airport thing? Serenity opens her portfolio, pulls out the project brief Ji-hoon sent over, scans it. It's comprehensive, detailed, exactly the kind of work she specializes in, designing neurodivergent-friendly UX for complex systems. It's not busy work. It's not a vanity project. It's real. Yeah, she says slowly. It's real. Then maybe he's telling the truth. But he still tracked me down, Grace. That's not normal. No, it's not. But maybe neither is having a kid who finally trusts someone after years of therapy. Grace pauses. Ren, I'm not saying you have to take this job. But I am saying that maybe this guy isn't Marcus. Maybe he actually sees you for who you are. Someone who understands. Not someone who needs to fix things. Serenity closes her eyes. I'm scared. I know. But you're also brilliant and strong and capable of setting boundaries. So set them. Tell him what you need. And if he can't meet you there, walk away. Okay. Okay? Okay, I'm doing this, but my way. That's my girl. Serenity hangs up, sits for another minute. Then she stands, smooths her blazer, and walks to Jae-won's office. She knocks. Come in. She opens the door. Jae-won is at his desk. Minjun is in a corner, noise-canceling headphones on, drawing. I'm staying, she says. Jae-won's whole body sags with relief. Thank you. But we're doing this my way. Business only. You don't get to thank me for the airport. You don't get to make this about anything other than work. And Minjun, she looks at the boy. He's not part of meetings unless it's actually relevant to his needs. I won't have him used as leverage. Agreed. And if at any point I feel like you're crossing a line, I'm gone. No discussion. Understood. She sits down. Then let's talk about this project. They work for 2 hours. It's professional. Focused. Jae-won defers to her expertise, asks thoughtful questions, takes notes. And Minjun, in the corner, draws quietly, occasionally looks up at Serenity, smiles. When the meeting ends, Serenity packs up her materials. Minjun approaches, holds out another drawing. It's her, recognizable even in a child's simple lines. She's smiling. "This is how I remember you," he says. From the airport, Serenity's eyes burn. "Can I keep this too?" He nods. "Thank you, Minjun." As she leaves, Jaewon walks her to the elevator. "I really am sorry," he says, "for not being up front. Just don't do it again." "I won't." The elevator opens. She steps in. Ms. Monroe, Serenity. She turns. "He trusts you." "I don't know why, but he does. And that's not something I take lightly." "Then don't break it." The doors close. Serenity rides down 34 floors and lets herself breathe. The project is sprawling, designing sensory-friendly UX for HandLogix's global logistics AI, which coordinates shipments across 30 countries. Serenity spends her first week auditing their existing platform, taking notes in a leather-bound notebook she's had since grad school. Jaewon is professional, distant, polite. He sits across from her in meetings, asks clarifying questions, defers to her expertise. He doesn't mention the airport, doesn't bring Minjun into the office again. It should be fine. It's not fine. Because every time she glances up, she catches him watching her. Not with attraction, but with the same desperate attention he'd had that night. Like he's trying to reverse engineer what she did, bottle it, take it home. On day 4, she stays late to finish a wireframe. The office is empty, except for the hum of servers and distant cleaning carts. She's debating whether to order delivery when Jaewon appears in the doorway. "You're still here." She doesn't look up. "So are you." "I live here mostly." He hesitates. "Can I ask you something?" "Is it about the project?" "No." "Then no." Silence. She hears him start to leave, then stop. "He listens to that playlist every night," Jaewon says quietly. "The one you played at the airport. He asks for it by name. Silk Roads. I didn't know music could do that for him." Serenity sets down her pen. Turns. Jaewon is leaning against the doorframe, and for the first time, she sees past the suit. Sees the father who's been white-knuckling through every day. "It's not the music," she says. "It's the predictability, the pattern. Autistic kids, autistic people, process the world differently. When everything is chaos, patterns are lifelines. I should know that. Why? Because he's my son. Because I've read every book, hired every specialist." His voice fractures. "And a stranger did in 3 minutes what I can't do in 3 years." Serenity stands, walks over, stops a careful 2 feet away. "You knelt on a dirty airport floor for him," she says. "You didn't care who saw. You didn't perform. You just held him. That's not nothing." Jaewon looks at her, and she sees wetness at the corners of his eyes. "I don't know how to do this," he admits. "I don't know how to be enough for him." "Then stop trying to be enough. Just be present." "How?" "By stopping the constant optimization. By accepting that some days will be hard and that's okay. By letting him see that you're human too." She softens. "You know what Minjun told me the other day? He said you work too much because you're trying to make the world quieter for him. He thinks that's why you're always tired." Jaewon's face crumples. "He said that?" "He sees more than you think, and he doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs you to be there." "I am there. Physically, yes. But emotionally, you're so busy trying to fix things that you're not actually experiencing them with him." Serenity crosses her arms. "When's the last time you just sat with him? No agenda, no therapy goals, just existed together?" Jaewon doesn't answer. "That's what I thought." He exhales shakily. "Will you teach me?" "Teach you what?" "How to just be." with him, without trying to fix everything. Serenity studies him. This powerful man, brought to his knees by love for his son. It's the most human thing she's seen in years. That's not in my contract, she says finally. I know. I'm asking anyway. Why? Because you're the only person who's ever made it seem possible. And because I'm out of options and pride, and I'll take help from anywhere at this point. The raw honesty of it disarms her. Fine, she says. But not here. Not in your office where you're the CEO. Somewhere neutral. Where? Do you know that park near the Brooklyn Bridge? The one with the sensory playground? I can find it. Saturday, 10 a.m. Bring Min-jun. No assistants, no security, just you two. What are we doing? Learning how to play. Saturday morning is overcast and cool. Serenity arrives at the park with Malachi, who's clutching his sketchbook and buzzing with excitement. Is the airplane boy coming? He asks for the 7th time. Yes, baby. Min-jun is coming. Can I show him my new drawing of Jupiter? Of course. They find a bench near the playground. Malachi immediately starts setting up, laying out his colored pencils in order, opening his sketchbook to a fresh page. Jae-won and Min-jun arrive 10 minutes later. Min-jun sees Serenity and his face lights up. He doesn't run, too much sensory input, but he walks quickly, purposefully. Hi, he says. Hi, Min-jun. She gestures to Malachi. This is my son, Malachi. Malachi looks up, waves. Hi. I'm Malachi. I like planets. I'm Min-jun. I like trains. Do you want to see my Jupiter drawing? Min-jun nods. They sit at the picnic table. Malachi shows Min-jun his sketchbook. Min-jun pulls out a folded piece of paper, a hand-drawn subway map, meticulously detailed. They don't talk much after that. Just exist side by side, sharing space. Serenity and Jae-won sit on a bench 20 feet away, watching. He never does this, Jae-won says quietly. Does what? Initiates, shares. He's always parallel, next to other kids, but not with them. Malachi's the same way. Serenity watches her son point at something in the sketchbook, watches Min-jun lean closer to look. I think they understand each other. Because they're both autistic? Because they both know what it's like when the world doesn't make sense. They don't have to explain themselves to each other. They can just be. Jae-won is quiet for a long moment. I envy that. Envy what? The ease. The acceptance. I spend so much time trying to understand Min-jun that I forget to just accept him as he is. That's common, especially for neurotypical parents. We think understanding equals control. But with autistic kids, control is an illusion. Acceptance is the only way forward. How did you learn that? Serenity smiles sadly. The hard way. I spent Malachi's first 5 years trying to make him fit into a world that wasn't designed for him. Forcing eye contact. Punishing stims. Pushing social interactions he clearly didn't want. Her voice gets rough. I was so focused on making him normal that I didn't see how much I was hurting him. What changed? He stopped talking to me, completely, for 2 weeks. And I realized I'd rather have my son, exactly as he is, than some neurotypical version I was trying to create. She wipes her eyes. So I started listening. Really listening. And I learned that everything he does serves a purpose. The hand flapping calms him. The scripts help him process. The drawing gives him control when everything else is chaos. And you stopped trying to fix him. I stopped seeing him as broken. She looks at Jae-won. That's the shift you need to make. Min-jun doesn't need fixing. He needs understanding. But what about his future? His ability to function independently? Define function. Define independence. Because those are neurotypical constructs. Maybe independence for Min-jun looks different than independence for a neurotypical kid. Maybe he'll need support his whole life. And maybe that's okay. Jae-won's hands clench. My mother would never accept that. Then your mother doesn't get a say. It's not that simple. It is, actually. You can either prioritize Minjun's authentic self, or you can prioritize other people's comfort. But you can't do both. Before Jaewon can respond, both boys appear in front of them. "We're hungry," Malachi announces. Minjun nods. "Can we get tteokbokki?" Tteokbokki, spicy rice cakes. "There's a food cart near here," Jaewon says. "Is that okay?" Serenity looks at Malachi. "You good with trying something new?" Malachi considers. "Is it crunchy or soft?" "Soft," Minjun says. "And spicy, but not too spicy." "Okay, I'll try it." They walk to the food cart together. The boys lead. Serenity and Jaewon follow. "Thank you," Jaewon says quietly. "For this. Don't thank me yet. We're just getting started." They spend 2 hours at the park. The boys eat, draw, climb on playground equipment designed for sensory needs. Jaewon watches, takes mental notes, starts to relax. At one point, Minjun falls while climbing, skins his knee, starts to cry. Jaewon moves to intervene, but Serenity touches his arm. "Wait." Malachi crouches next to Minjun. Doesn't touch him, just sits nearby. "I fall a lot too," Malachi says. "It hurts, but then it stops hurting." Minjun sniffles. "Really? Really? Do you want to see my scar?" Malachi rolls up his sleeve, shows a faded mark on his elbow. "I got this last year. It hurt for 3 days. Now it doesn't hurt at all." Minjun touches the scar gently. "Okay. Do you want to sit for a minute?" Minjun nods. They sit together on the ground. After a minute, Minjun stands. "I'm ready now." "Okay." They go back to playing. Serenity looks at Jaewon. "See? He didn't need you to fix it. He needed space to process and a friend who understood." Jaewon's eyes are wet. "I would have jumped in, made it worse. Most parents would. But you're learning." When they finally leave, Minjun hugs Malachi goodbye. It's quick and awkward, but genuine. "Can we do this again?" Minjun asks. Malachi looks at Serenity. She looks at Jaewon. "Yeah," Jaewon says. "We can do this again." As they walk away, Minjun takes his father's hand. "I like them, Abba." "Me too, buddy. Me too." The playdates become regular. Every Saturday. Same park. Same routine. The boys develop their own language. Not verbal, but gestural. A tilt of the head means "I need space." A tap on the shoulder means "look at this." Parallel play that somehow feels deeply connected. Serenity and Jaewon talk more about parenting, about autism, about the impossible weight of raising kids who see the world differently. "My ex-wife left when Minjun was 4, Jaewon says one afternoon. The boys are at the playground. The adults are on their usual bench. "I'm sorry." She said it was genetic, that I'd given him defective genes. His voice is flat. She refused to accept the diagnosis, kept insisting he was just shy, just delayed, that if we pushed him harder, he'd be normal. Jesus. I didn't fight her when she left. I was relieved. He looks at Serenity. "Does that make me a terrible person?" "It makes you human." She sends money, never calls. Minjun doesn't ask about her anymore. Does he remember her? I don't know. We don't talk about it. Jaewon runs a hand through his hair. His therapist says that's bad, that I should bring it up, but I don't know how. What are you afraid of? That he'll ask why she left, and I'll have to tell him it's because of who he is. Serenity's chest aches. You don't have to say that, but it's true. No, it's true that she couldn't handle it. That's her failure, not his. How do I explain that to a 7-year-old? Honestly, simply. You tell him some people aren't strong enough to love the way he needs to be loved, and that's not his fault. Jaewon is quiet. My mother paid her to leave. Serenity's head snaps up. What? I found out 6 months ago. My mother gave her $2 million to divorce me quietly. No scandal. No public disclosure of Minjun's diagnosis. His hands shake. She thought she was protecting us, protecting the family name. Did you confront her? I tried. She doesn't see it as wrong. She sees it as pragmatic. That's not pragmatism, that's control. That's my mother. Serenity processes this. Does Minjun know? No, and I don't know if I should tell him. Not now. But eventually, yeah. He deserves the truth. I'm afraid it'll break him. Kids are more resilient than we think, and secrets are heavier than truth. Jaewon looks at her. You're good at this. At what? Seeing through the noise. Cutting to what matters. I've had practice. They sit in comfortable silence, watch their sons play. Can I ask you something? Jaewon says. Depends. Why did your ex leave? Serenity tenses. That's personal. I know. You don't have to answer. She's quiet for a long moment. Then, he didn't leave. I ended it. Why? Because he saw Malachi as a project, something to manage. He kept suggesting therapies that were basically torture, ABA that punished stimming, social skills groups that forced eye contact. When I said no, he accused me of limiting Malachi's potential. Her voice hardens. He told me I was being selfish, that I was choosing my comfort over my son's future. That's bullshit. I know, but it still hurt. Do you regret it? Ending it? Never. But I regret believing him for as long as I did. I regret the year I spent trying to make Malachi fit into Marcus's vision of normal. You were doing your best. My best hurt my kid. And then you changed. That's what matters. Serenity looks at him. Really looks. And sees not a CEO, not a stranger, but a father who's as terrified and exhausted as she is. Thank you, she says. For what? For getting it. I don't. Not really. But I'm trying. That's enough. Malachi runs over, breathless. Mommy, Minjun wants to know if we can go to his house next time. Serenity looks at Jaewon. He looks back. Is that okay? Minjun asks, appearing beside Malachi. We'd have to ask your dad, Serenity says carefully. Jaewon nods. You're both welcome. Anytime. The boys cheer. And just like that, the boundaries shift. The first visit to Jaewon's apartment is overwhelming. It's enormous. Floor-to-ceiling windows, minimalist furniture, a kitchen bigger than Serenity's entire apartment. Everything is white and chrome and sterile. Malachi's eyes go wide. Whoa. Minjun takes his hand. Come on, I'll show you my room. They disappear down a hallway. Serenity stands in the living room, feeling out of place. It's too much, Jaewon says quietly. What? The apartment. I know, it's not exactly warm. It's very clean. It's a hotel. I bought it after the divorce. Haven't really made it a home. Serenity walks to the window. The view is stunning. The Manhattan skyline, the East River, endless city lights. Minjun must love this. He does. But he spends most of his time in his room, which is fine, but Jaewon trails off. But you wish he used the rest of the space. Yeah. Have you asked him why he doesn't? No. Maybe start there. They hear laughter from Minjun's room. Both boys giggling. Serenity smiles. That's a good sound. It is. They walk to Minjun's room. Stop in the doorway. The boys are lying on the floor, each with headphones on, listening to something on Minjun's tablet. Their feet are touching. They're drawing in tandem. Minjun on his subway map, Malachi on his planets. They're listening to Silk Roads, Jaewon murmurs. The playlist from the airport? He listens to it every night. I asked him once why he likes it so much. He said it sounds like how Serenity's voice made him feel. Serenity's eyes burn. Safe, Jaewon continues. That's the word he used. He said the music makes him feel safe. Jaewon, you did that. In 3 minutes. You made my son feel something I've been trying to give him for 7 years. It's not a competition. I know, but it still matters. They watch the boys for another minute. Then Serenity says, I should get Malachi home. It's almost his dinner time, and he gets dysregulated if we change the schedule. Of course. She walks into the room, crouches near Malachi, taps his shoulder. He pulls off his headphones. Time to go, baby. Already? We'll come back. I promise. Malachi looks at Minjun. Can I come back? Minjun nods. Next Saturday? Next Saturday. They do a secret handshake they invented last week, a series of taps and hand movements that makes no sense to anyone but them. As they leave, Minjun hands Serenity something. Another drawing. This one shows 4 stick figures, 2 tall, 2 small, all holding hands. That's us, he says. Together. Serenity can't speak, just nods. In the elevator, Malachi asks, Mommy, why are you crying? Happy tears, baby. Oh, okay. He leans against her. I like Minjun's house, but I like ours better. Why? Because ours feels like home. His feels like a museum. Out of the mouths of children. The work is intense. Serenity spends her days at Hanlogic's headquarters, a 40-story glass monument to efficiency. She meets with developers, UX designers, logistics analysts. Jaewon is in most of the meetings, but he defers to her, lets her lead. Minjun visits twice. Once, he brings a drawing of a train labeled, For Serenity's Son. She takes a photo, sends it to Malachi, who immediately draws a constellation labeled, For Minjun Zappa. The boys communicate through their art. The adults communicate through careful professionalism. On day 9, Jaewon invites her to dinner. There's a place I want to show you, he says. Not corporate. Just a place I go when I need to think. It's a traditional restaurant in Insadong, tucked down an alley, low lighting and private rooms. They sit on floor cushions, shoes left at the door. A server brings banchan, then disappears. This is beautiful, Serenity says, looking around at the exposed wooden beams, the traditional paintings on the walls. My father used to bring me here, before he... Jaewon trails off. Before he decided I was old enough to be useful instead of loved. Serenity sets down her chopsticks. What happened? I became what he wanted, built the company, married the right woman, had a son. His jaw tightens. And then my son was diagnosed autistic, and my wife decided that was my fault. She left when Minjun was 4. Took nothing. Just disappeared. Jaewon. I didn't notice. His voice breaks. Everyone kept saying he was just shy, just a late talker. And I believed them because it was easier than admitting I didn't know my own child. By the time I got him evaluated, he'd already spent years in a world that didn't make sense to him. And I wasn't there. Serenity reaches across the table, covers his hand with hers. You're there now. Am I? Or am I just paying people to do what I can't? You flew to New York for a meeting you could have done over Zoom because Minjun asked if I was coming. You let him disrupt your board meetings because he feels safe with you. You learned his playlist, his sensory needs, his routines. She squeezes his hand. That's not absence. That's love. Jaewon looks at their joined hands, then at her face. His eyes are wet. I don't know how you do it, he whispers. Alone. I'm not alone. I have Grace. I have Malachi. I have... She stops herself. You have? He prompts. I have a life I built brick by brick so no one could knock it down. She pulls her hand back slowly. And I can't let someone in who might. I wouldn't. You can't promise that. Serenity. My ex-fiancé told me Malachi could get better if I tried harder. He saw my son as a project, as something broken. Her voice shakes. So I chose Malachi, and I swore I'd never let anyone make me choose again. Jaewon leans forward. I would never ask you to choose. Everyone does eventually. I'm not everyone. Their faces are inches apart. His eyes drop to her mouth. She sees the intention, feels her breath catch. He leans in. She pulls back, stands abruptly. I can't. Serenity. I'm sorry. I can't. She grabs her bag, hands shaking. Thank you for dinner. Please don't. I need to go. I need to check on Malachi. Her voice breaks. She leaves before he can stop her. Outside, the night air is cold and sharp. She walks 3 blocks before she realizes she doesn't know where she is. Seoul at night is a maze of neon and crowds, voices in a language she doesn't speak. She pulls out her phone with trembling fingers, orders a car, stands shivering on a corner in a city that isn't hers. Her phone buzzes. J1. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. She stares at the screen. Types nothing. Another text. You're right. I can't promise I won't hurt you, but I can promise I'll try not to, if you let me. She closes her eyes, feels tears slip down her cheeks. The car arrives. She climbs in, gives the driver the address of the guest house in broken English and hand gestures. When she gets back, Malachi is asleep in their room, peaceful and safe. She sits beside his bed and watches him breathe. Her phone buzzes again. This time, it's Grace. How's Seoul? Serenity types back. Complicated. Did something happen? He kissed me. Almost. Almost? I pulled away. Why? Because I'm terrified. 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. Of getting hurt or of being happy? Serenity stares at the question for a long time. She doesn't answer. She avoids him for 2 days, buries herself in work, responds to emails at midnight, takes meetings in different conference rooms, doesn't answer his calls. On day 11, she's walking back to the guest house when she notices people staring. Not casual glances, pointed looks, whispers behind hands. Her phone explodes. Texts from Grace. Are you seeing this? Texts from Jihoon. Call me, now. 7 missed calls from Jaewon. She opens her social media. Her stomach drops. It's a photo. Her and Jaewon leaving the restaurant in Insadong, his hand on her back. The angle makes it look intimate, like they're a couple sneaking away from the world. The headline, Han Logic CEO's Secret Foreign Romance. The comments are worse. Gold digger. He's using her for diversity PR. What about Korean women? She probably trapped him. Look at her. She's not even pretty. Another black woman going after Asian men for money. The slurs get worse from there. Serenity stops reading after the 5th racial epithet. She sits on a bench outside a convenience store. Can't breathe. Her phone rings. J1. She answers. Serenity, I'm so sorry. Did you know they were following us? No, I swear. I need to go home. Please don't. I can't do this. I can't put Malachi through this. I can't. Her voice breaks. I should never have come here. Serenity, please. Let me fix this. You can't. She hangs up. She books the next flight out, packs in 10 minutes, wakes Malachi gently. Are we going home? He asks, groggy and confused. Yes, baby. But Minjun? We'll see him later, I promise. Did I do something wrong? No. No, baby, you didn't do anything wrong. She holds him tight. Sometimes grown-ups make things complicated. But it's not your fault. He nods against her shoulder. She calls Grace sobbing while packing. Come home, Grace says. Right now. She's at Incheon Airport by dawn, waiting at the gate when Jaewon appears, out of breath, still in yesterday's clothes. Don't go. She doesn't look at him. I have to. I'll release a statement. I'll tell them it was a business dinner. And make it worse? Make me look like the scandal you have to clean up? She finally meets his eyes. I've spent my whole life being underestimated because I'm a black single mother. I won't be a fetish or a PR disaster for you. You're not. Then what am I, Jaewon? What am I to you? He opens his mouth, closes it. The truth is too complicated, too new, too terrifying to say aloud. That's what I thought. She picks up her bag. Tell Minjun I'm sorry. He's going to ask for you. I know. Her voice breaks. Serenity. Goodbye, Jaewon. She boards the plane, takes her seat. Malachi falls asleep against her shoulder immediately, exhausted. She stares out the window as Seoul disappears beneath clouds and sees Jaewon's face in the terminal, devastated and helpless. She tells herself she made the right choice. She doesn't believe it. She gets home and Malachi knows immediately. Mommy, why are you sad? I'm just tired, baby. But your eyes are red. She pulls him into her lap, holds him tight. Sometimes grown-ups have hard days. Did someone hurt you? No, baby. I'm okay. But she's not. She reads the comments. Even though Grace tells her not to, even though she knows better, they call her opportunistic, predatory, a bad mother for leaving her son to chase a rich man, a homewrecker, even though Jaewon is divorced. Someone digs up her address, posts it online. Someone else photoshops her face onto explicit images. The worst ones call her the N-word, over and over, in English and Korean and languages she doesn't recognize. Grace finds her at 2 a.m., laptop open, face wet, hands shaking. Ren, stop. They think I'm using him. They think I... Grace closes the laptop firmly, sits beside her. They don't know you. They don't know him. They're shouting into the void because their own lives are empty. It doesn't feel empty. It feels like drowning. I know, but you're not alone. And you're not wrong. You're just human. Grace wraps an arm around her shoulders. Serenity leans into her. I shouldn't have gone. You took a chance. That's not a mistake. It feels like one. Because you're scared. But fear doesn't mean you were wrong. It just means you're brave enough to risk something. Her phone buzzes. Another text from Jaewon. She's ignored 14. This one says, Minjun hasn't eaten in 2 days. He keeps asking where you went. Her chest cracks open. She doesn't reply. Grace reads over her shoulder. Jesus, that poor kid. I can't be responsible for him. I have my own son to protect. I know. But Ren, what if protecting Malachi doesn't mean pushing everyone else away? What if it means showing him what it looks like when adults work through hard things? He's 7. He doesn't need to see me fall apart. He's already seeing you fall apart. You've been crying for 3 days. Serenity wipes her face. I don't know what to do. Then don't do anything yet. Just breathe. Let yourself feel it. And when you're ready, decide. Another text from Jaewon. I'm not giving up. On you. On us. On whatever this could be. Take all the time you need. But know that we're here. Waiting. Serenity reads it 5 times. Then she turns off her phone and goes to bed. Jaewon is in his office at midnight when his mother walks in. Lee Yuna. 70 years of elegance and control, dressed in a tailored hanbok, expression carved from stone. We need to talk. Jaewon doesn't look up. Not now, Aomioni. Aomioni, mother. Now. She sits across from him, posture perfect. I saw the articles. Who is she? A consultant. Don't insult my intelligence. He finally looks at her. What do you want me to say? I want you to end this before it destroys everything we built. She's not destroying anything. She's American. Black. A single mother. Yuna's voice is surgical, cutting without raising in volume. Do you understand what the board will say? What our shareholders will think? I don't care. You should. Because Minjun's future depends on this company. His inheritance. Minjun's future depends on him being happy. And he's happy when she's around. He's 7. He doesn't know what's best for him. And I do? Jaewon stands abruptly. Because I've done such a great job so far? Yuna's expression flickers. You're doing the best you can. It's not enough. His voice breaks. I hired specialists, enrolled him in therapies, read every book, and a stranger calmed him down in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. What does that say about me? It says you needed help, and now you have it. But this woman, her name is Serenity, is a complication you cannot afford. The media will tear her apart. They already are. And when they're done with her, they'll come for Minjun. Yuna leans forward. Is that what you want? Your son's diagnosis splashed across every tabloid? Jaewon freezes. You wouldn't. I won't have to. The media will do it themselves. They'll dig into why you're so invested in accessibility consulting. They'll find Minjun's medical records if they look hard enough. They'll make him a spectacle. Then I'll protect him. By doing what? Taking out injunctions against every news outlet in Korea? In America? You can't control this. Then I'll learn to live with it, because I'm not giving her up. Yuna stares at him. You love her. It's not a question. Yes, he says quietly. I love her. You barely know her. I know she sees my son as a person, not a diagnosis. I know she's been doing alone what I can't do with unlimited resources. I know she makes me want to be better, braver. He meets his mother's eyes. I know she left because she was afraid I'd hurt her, and I'm terrified she's right. Yuna is silent for a long moment. What about her son? What about him? You're willing to take on another child? An autistic child who isn't yours? Malachi is... Jaewon stops, chooses his words carefully. Malachi is brilliant, kind, careful with Minjun in ways adults aren't. If Serenity comes back, he comes with her. That's not negotiable. So you'll have 2 autistic children. The board works for me, not the other way around. And when the pressure becomes too much, when the media won't stop, when the comments get worse, Yuna's voice softens slightly. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to protect you. Both of you. By making me choose between Minjun's happiness and your approval. By making you face reality. Love is not enough when the world is against you. Then I'll change the world. Jaewon sits back down. I'm going public with Minjun's diagnosis. Yuna goes pale. You're what? I'm recording a video. Introducing Minjun. Explaining autism. Apologizing to Serenity for not protecting her. He opens his laptop. And I'm announcing a new HandLogix initiative. Neurodivergent accessibility across all our platforms. Funded. Permanent. That's corporate suicide. That's integrity. The shareholders will adapt or they'll leave. Either way, I'm done hiding who my son is. Yuna stands slowly. You're making a mistake. Maybe. But it's mine to make. She walks to the door. Pauses. She left you. What makes you think she'll come back? I don't know if she will. But I have to try. Yuna looks at him for a long moment. Something shifts in her expression. Not approval, but perhaps the beginning of understanding. Your father would have hated this, she says quietly. I know. He would have called you weak, emotional, unfit to lead. I know. He would have been wrong. Yuna's voice cracks, just barely. Minjun deserves better than what we gave you. Jaewon's throat closes. Yomioni, make the video. If you're going to do this, do it properly, with dignity. She opens the door. But if she breaks your heart, I reserve the right to say I told you so. The smallest hint of a smile. Then she's gone. Jaewon sits alone in his office and opens the camera on his laptop, takes a breath, presses record. 2 weeks pass. Serenity goes back to work, takes Malachi to OT, pretends everything is fine. Jaewon calls, texts, sends emails. She ignores all of them, until the 40th email. Subject: I'm sorry. Serenity, I won't apologize for wanting to know you, but I will apologize for not protecting you better, for not anticipating the media, for putting you in a position where you had to choose between your safety and my son's happiness. Minjun asks about you every day. I've tried explaining, but he doesn't understand why you left. Honestly, neither do I, but I respect your choice. If you ever change your mind, we'll be here. J1. She reads it 12 times. Then she blocks his number. Grace finds out. Loses it. Are you serious? I have to move on. By pretending he doesn't exist? By protecting my son. From what? A man who clearly cares about you? From getting attached to something that won't last. Serenity's voice shakes. I won't let Malachi lose another person. I won't do it. What if you're not protecting him? What if you're just scared? Serenity doesn't answer. That night, Malachi asks, Mommy, can we call Minjun? Not tonight, baby. Why not? Because it's complicated. But he's my friend. I know. Did I do something wrong? No. No, baby, you didn't do anything wrong. But Malachi's face crumples. Then why can't I talk to him? Serenity holds him while he cries and hates herself. She lies in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if she's making the biggest mistake of her life. Her blocked messages folder has 37 texts from Jaewon. She doesn't read them, but she doesn't delete them either. Jihoon finds Jaewon in the executive bathroom at 3 p.m., leaning over the sink, hands shaking. Hyung. Jaewon doesn't look up. He won't eat. Minjun? 3 days. He's drinking water, but he won't eat. I've tried everything. His safe foods, new foods, letting him pick. Nothing. Did you call his therapist? She said it's emotional regression, protest behavior. Jaewon's voice breaks. He thinks if he stops eating, Serenity will come back. Jihoon exhales sharply. Jesus. I don't know what to do. Jaewon's knees buckle. Jihoon catches him, lowers him to the floor. Breathe. I can't do this. Yes, you can. I'm losing him, Jihoon. My son is disappearing and I don't know how to stop it. Jihoon holds his friend while he breaks apart. This man who commands boardrooms and billion-dollar deals, reduced to a terrified father on a bathroom floor. When Jaewon can breathe again, Jihoon says, You need to fight for her. She blocked me. So find another way. She doesn't want me. She wants to protect her kid. That's not the same thing. Jihoon pulls him to his feet. Look, you can either sit here and let fear win, or you can show up. Really show up. Not with money or contracts. With the truth. What truth? That you love her. That you're terrified. That you'll fail 100 times, but you'll keep trying. That's what she needs to hear. Jaewon wipes his face. What if it's not enough? Then you tried. But if you don't try, you've already lost. Jaewon looks at himself in the mirror. Red eyes, hollow cheeks, a man unraveling. Then he thinks of Minjun, of Serenity, of the way she looked at his son like he was whole. He pulls out his phone. What are you doing? Jihoon asks. Something I should have done weeks ago. The video goes live at 6 a.m. Seoul time, 5 p.m. New York time. It's filmed in Jaewon's living room. No suit. Just a gray sweater and exhaustion carved into every line of his face. Minjun sits beside him, headphones on, drawing quietly. He looks thinner, paler. My name is Han Jaewon. I'm the CEO of Han Logix Global, and this is my son, Minjun. He gestures to the boy, who looks up briefly, then back at his drawing. Minjun is 7 years old. He's autistic. And for a long time, I didn't know how to talk about that. He pauses, swallows hard. I was raised to believe that vulnerability is weakness, that asking for help is failure. So when Minjun was diagnosed, I threw money at the problem, hired specialists, read books, built routines. I thought if I worked hard enough, I could manage it. Minjun shifts closer to his father. Jaewon's hand comes up automatically, rests on his son's back. A gesture so natural, it's clear they've done this 1,000 times. But 3 months ago, Minjun had a meltdown at JFK Airport, and I couldn't help him. I stood there, paralyzed, while my son was in pain. And then a stranger, a woman I'd never met, did what I couldn't. She calmed him down. She saw him. Really saw him. His voice cracks. Her name is Serenity Monroe. She's a pediatric occupational therapist, a single mother, and one of the bravest people I've ever met. He looks directly at the camera. When photos of us leaked, she was attacked online, called names I won't repeat, accused of using me, and I said nothing. I let her walk away because I was afraid. He wipes his eyes roughly. I'm done being afraid. Minjun deserves better. Serenity deserves better. He glances at his son. Family isn't blood or nationality. It's who shows up when things fall apart. It's who sees you at your worst and stays anyway. Minjun looks up. Abba, is Serenity coming back? Appa, is Serenity coming back? Jaewon's face crumples. I hope so, buddy. Minjun nods solemnly. Goes back to drawing. Jaewon looks at the camera one last time. If you're watching this, Serenity, I'm sorry. I should have fought for you from the start. And if you give me another chance, I will. Every single day. I'll fight for you. For us. For what we could build together. He reaches over, stops the recording. The video is 3 minutes and 47 seconds long. Within 6 hours, it has 8 million views. Within 12 hours, it's trending worldwide. The comments are different this time. This is what real love looks like. He's setting a new standard for fathers. The world needs more men like this. There are still hate comments, still racist attacks on Serenity, but they're drowned out by support. By people saying, find her, fight for her, don't give up. Jaewon doesn't read any of it. He just waits. Serenity is at work when Grace texts her the link. You need to watch this, now. She's in her car on lunch break, opens the link, sees Jaewon's face, presses play, watches the whole thing. By the end, she's sobbing so hard she can't see the screen. She calls Grace. He just, I know. Grace, he told the whole world. I know. What do I do? Whatever your heart tells you. Serenity drives home in a daze. Her phone won't stop buzzing. Notifications, messages, emails from reporters. She ignores all of it. When she gets home, Malachi is on the couch with Grace's phone, FaceTiming someone. Malachi, who are you? Minjun. Malachi's face lights up. I missed you. Serenity freezes. On the screen, Minjun is smiling. Actually smiling, though his face is drawn, his eyes tired. I missed you too, Minjun says quietly. Mommy's home. Do you want to say hi? Malachi, Serenity starts, but Minjun is already talking. Hi, Serenity. Abba said you're mad at us. Her chest aches. I'm not mad, sweetheart. Then why did you leave? Because grown-ups are complicated, and sometimes we get scared. Scared of what? How do you explain to a 7-year-old that you're terrified of being happy because every time you've tried, it's been taken away? Scared of getting hurt, she says honestly. Minjun nods slowly. I get hurt a lot. When I fall. When sounds are too loud. When people don't understand. He looks at her with those serious eyes. Abba says being scared is okay. But staying scared forever means you miss good things. Serenity's throat closes. Abba misses you. He cries at night. I hear him. Minjun, can you come back? Please. I promise I'll be good. I'll eat. Oh, sweetheart, this has nothing to do with you being good. You're already perfect exactly as you are. Then why won't you come back? Malachi looks at her with the same question in his eyes. Minjun is sad, Mommy. And I'm sad too. Can't we help them? Serenity sits beside her son, looks at both boys on the screen. These two children who found each other in a world that doesn't always understand them. You're right, she whispers. Friends help each other. So you'll come back? Minjun's whole face transforms with hope. I need to talk to your father first. He's at work, but I can call him right now. No, baby, I'll call him myself. Promise? I promise. Okay. Minjun smiles, a real full smile. I'm going to eat dinner now. I've been really hungry. After they hang up, Serenity sits in the silence. Grace appears in the doorway. So? So I'm an idiot. Yeah. But you're a brave idiot. Grace grins. Now go call that man before he has a heart attack. Serenity unblocks Jaewon's number, stares at the call button for 30 seconds, then she presses it. He answers on the first ring. Serenity? Hi. Hi. His voice is wrecked, raw. I thought you blocked. I did. I unblocked you. Silence. She hears him breathing. I saw the video, she says. I'm sorry. I should have asked before posting, but I couldn't. I needed to say it. I needed the world to know. That you love your son. I know. I saw. She wipes her eyes. Jaewon, I left because I was scared. Because every time I've let someone close, they've made me choose between them and Malachi. And I will always choose my son. I would never ask you to choose. Everyone says that. Until it's inconvenient. Until autism means canceled plans and public meltdowns, and needing to leave parties early because the noise is too much. Until they realize my son isn't going to grow out of it. I know he's not going to grow out of it. Neither is Minjun. And I don't want them to. His voice steadies. Serenity. I'm not asking you to choose. I'm asking you to let me stand beside you. Let me carry some of the weight. Let me learn how to do this with you. Her eyes burn. What if you can't handle it? Then I'll fail, and I'll get back up and try again. Because that's what you do every single day. And if you can do it alone, imagine what we could do together. She closes her eyes. Tears slip down her cheeks. Minjun isn't eating. Jaewon says quietly. He thinks if he stops, you'll come back. And I don't know how to explain to a 7-year-old that the world doesn't work that way. That sometimes people leave and they don't come back. Jaewon? But I don't want to teach him that. I want to teach him that when you love someone, you fight. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. I want to teach him that love means showing up. Every day. Even when you're terrified. Serenity wipes her face with shaking hands. Our kids called each other, without us. I know. Minjun told me. He was so happy, Serenity. I haven't seen him smile like that in weeks. Malachi said we have to help each other, because that's what friends do. Smart kid. Takes after his mother. She almost laughs. Almost. Silence stretches between them. Not uncomfortable, but full. Can I come see you? Jaewon asks. Just to talk. Face to face. You'd fly to New York? I'd fly anywhere. I'd swim if I had to. Despite everything, she smiles. That's dramatic. I'm feeling dramatic. She takes a breath. Okay. Okay? Come see us. But Jaewon. Yeah? Don't make promises you can't keep. Not to me, and definitely not to Malachi. If you're not sure about this, about us, don't come. I'm sure. How can you be? Because I haven't been able to breathe properly since you left. Because Minjun asks about you 17 times a day. Because I watched that footage from the airport 100 times, and every time, I see the same thing. Someone who stopped when no one else did. Someone who saw my son and didn't flinch. His voice drops. Someone I want in my life. In our lives. If you'll have us. Serenity can't speak. Just nods, then realizes he can't see her. Okay, she whispers. Okay? Come to New York. We'll figure out the rest. She hears him exhale, long and shaky, like he's been holding his breath for weeks. I'll be there tomorrow, he says. Tomorrow? I'm booking a flight right now. Is that too soon? She thinks about Malachi's face when he talked to Minjun, about the drawing of 4 stick figures still hanging on her refrigerator. No, she says. It's not too soon. They talk for another hour. About logistics, about fears, about what comes next. When they finally hang up, Serenity sits in the quiet of her apartment and lets herself feel something she hasn't felt in years. Hope. Jaewon lands at JFK 48 hours later. He doesn't tell her when, doesn't ask her to pick him up, just texts when he's in the city. I'm at the park, the one where the boys met. Can you come? Serenity's hands shake as she types back. Give me 20 minutes. She tells Malachi they're going to see Minjun. His eyes go wide. Really? Really? Is his dad coming too? Yes, baby. Malachi bolts to his room, comes back with his sketchbook and a new drawing. 4 stick figures holding hands under a sky full of stars. I made this for them. Serenity's heart breaks and mends in the same breath. It's perfect. They take the subway. Malachi hums the whole way, clutching his sketchbook. When they arrive at the park, she sees them immediately. Jaewon is sitting on the same bench they sat on months ago. Minjun is beside him, headphones on, staring at his hands. Even from a distance, she can see how thin he's gotten. Malachi breaks into a run. Minjun! Minjun looks up. His face transforms, pure joy breaking through weeks of sadness. He jumps off the bench, runs toward Malachi. They collide in a hug, awkward and tight, the way kids do when they haven't learned to hold back. Serenity walks slowly toward Jaewon. He stands when she's close. They stare at each other. Hi, she says. Hi. He looks thinner too, exhausted. But his eyes are clear and steady and full of something that makes her chest ache. You came, she says. I told you I would. I know, I didn't think you'd actually... She stops, looks at the boys. They're sitting in the grass now, Malachi showing Minjun his drawing. They really missed each other. So did I, Jaewon says quietly. She looks at him. Jaewon, let me say this. Please. He steps closer. I don't have this figured out. I don't know how to balance 2 countries or 2 families or any of it. But I know that Minjun is happier when you're around. And so am I. And I hope, that maybe you are too. I am, she admits. But I'm also terrified. Me too. What if we mess this up? What if we hurt the kids? Then we'll apologize, and we'll do better. But Serenity, what if we don't mess it up? What if this actually works? She looks at the boys again. Minjun is laughing, actually laughing, at something Malachi said. It's the most beautiful sound she's ever heard. I don't know how to do this, she whispers. Neither do I, but I think we figure it out together. He reaches for her hand, waits. She takes it. His fingers close around hers, warm and steady and real. One step at a time? He asks. One step at a time. They stand there, hands joined, watching their sons rebuild a friendship that distance couldn't break. Minjun started eating again, Jaewon says. Right after you called. He had 3 meals yesterday. Kept asking when he'd see Malachi. Malachi's been different too. Quieter. Drawing more. Grace said he's been processing grief. They bonded so fast. Because they see each other. Really see each other. No filters, no expectations, just acceptance. I want that, Jaewon says. For us. She looks at him. It's not that simple. I know, but we can try. Before she can respond, both boys appear in front of them. We're hungry, Malachi announces. Minjun nods. Can we get food together? All of us? Jaewon looks at Serenity. She looks back. Yeah, she says. All of us. They walk to a small restaurant near the park. The boys sit together on one side of the booth, Serenity and Jaewon on the other. It feels natural. Right. Minjun shares his fries with Malachi. Malachi shares his chicken nuggets with Minjun. They communicate in gestures and small words. their own private language. Abba, Minjun says between bites. Yeah, buddy? Is Serenity staying this time? Jaewon freezes. Looks at Serenity. She takes a breath. Looks at Minjun. I'm not going anywhere, sweetheart. Not unless you want me to. I don't want you to go, ever. Then I'll stay. Promise? She glances at Jaewon. He nods almost imperceptibly. I promise, she says. It might be complicated. Your dad and I have a lot to figure out, but I'm not leaving you or Malachi. Not again. Minjun smiles, wide and genuine. Okay. Malachi looks at Jaewon, studies him with those serious eyes. Are you going to be my dad now? Jaewon's face goes pale. He opens his mouth, closes it. Serenity reaches under the table, squeezes his knee. A silent message. It's okay. Just be honest. I'd like to be, Jaewon says carefully. If that's okay with you. But you don't have to call me Dad if you don't want to. You can call me Jaewon. Or Mr. Han. Or... Can I think about it? Malachi asks. Of course. Okay. Malachi nods, turns to Minjun. Want to see my new planet drawing? Yeah! They're immediately absorbed in the sketchbook, the heavy conversation forgotten. Serenity exhales shakily. That was terrifying, Jaewon finishes. Yeah, but we got through it. Barely. He takes her hand on the table. We'll get better. Promise? I promise to try. That's all I can offer. She squeezes his hand. That's enough. They finish eating, walk back to the park. The boys run ahead, chasing pigeons, laughing. I need to tell you something, Jaewon says. Serenity tenses. Okay. My mother wants to meet you. Officially. Oh God. I know, but she's trying. After I posted the video, she called me. Said, his voice gets rough. She said Minjun deserves better than what they gave me. That I'm doing the right thing. That must have been hard for her. It was. She's not good at admitting she's wrong, but she's trying. When does she want to meet? Next month, in Seoul. But only if you're comfortable. No pressure. Serenity thinks about this. Can I bring Malachi? She'd be offended if you didn't. Then okay, we'll come. Jaewon stops walking. Really? Really. But Jaewon, yeah? If she makes one comment about Malachi's autism, or mine, or suggests we need to fix anything, I'm out. Immediately. Fair. And for the record, if she does that, I'll be the one to shut it down. Good. They reach the playground. The boys are on the swings side by side, pumping their legs. This is going to be complicated, Serenity says. I know. 2 countries, 2 cultures, 2 autistic kids, your mother, the media. I know. But I think... She looks at him. I think it might be worth it. Jaewon's whole face softens. Yeah? Yeah. He kisses her. Right there in the park, with their sons 20 feet away and the whole world watching. It's gentle, tentative, a promise. When they pull apart, Malachi is staring at them. Are you kissing? He asks, nose wrinkled. Yes, Serenity says, not apologizing. Gross. Minjun appears beside him. My Halmione says kissing means you love someone. Halmione, grandmother. Do you love Mommy? Malachi asks Jaewon. Jaewon looks at Serenity. Yes, very much. Oh. Malachi considers this. Okay then, that's good. He goes back to the swings, just like that. Serenity laughs, wet and relieved and impossibly happy. Well, that was easier than expected. Kids are practical, Jaewon says. We're the ones who complicate things. Then let's try not to. Deal. They sit on a bench, watching their sons play. The sun sets over Brooklyn. The air cools. But neither of them moves. I'm still scared, Serenity admits. Me too. But I'm also happy, which is terrifying in its own way. I know exactly what you mean. She leans into him. He wraps an arm around her. Thank you, he says. For what? For stopping at the airport, for seeing Minjun, for giving us a chance. Thank you for fighting for me, for us. They sit in comfortable silence until the boys run over, ready to go home. Who's home? Malachi asks. Serenity and Jaewon look at each other. Both, Jaewon says. We'll go to yours first. Then tomorrow you can see ours, if that's okay. Can Minjun stay over? Malachi asks. Not tonight, Serenity says gently. But soon. We need to plan these things. Why? Because big changes need preparation. For everyone. Oh, okay. They split up. Serenity and Malachi heading home, Jaewon and Minjun to their hotel. But before they leave, Minjun hugs Serenity, long and tight. Thank you for coming back, he whispers. She holds him close. Thank you for not giving up on me. 1 month later, Serenity and Malachi fly to Seoul. Jaewon picks them up from Incheon. Minjun is in the back seat, practically bouncing with excitement. When Malachi climbs in, they do their secret handshake immediately. We practiced, Minjun says proudly. Every day, Jaewon confirms. Via video call. Serenity smiles. They're adorable. They are. The drive to the city is familiar now. Serenity has been back twice in the past month. Short trips, building routines, establishing rhythms. But this trip is different. This trip, she's meeting Yuna. They go to the Han family home, a traditional hanok in Bukchon, beautifully preserved with a courtyard garden and sliding doors. It's elegant, intimidating. I'm nervous, Serenity admits as they park. She's nervous too, Jaewon says. Really? Really? She called me 3 times yesterday to confirm protocols, what to serve, how to greet you. She's trying. Okay. They walk to the front door. Jaewon slides it open. Yuna is waiting in the main room, dressed in a beautiful hanbok, deep blue with silver embroidery. She stands when they enter, posture perfect. Welcome, she says in careful English. Serenity bows. Thank you for having us, Mrs. Han. Lee, I kept my family name. A small correction, but not unkind. Mrs. Lee, my apologies. Yuna's eyes move to Malachi, who's partially hidden behind Serenity's leg. You must be Malachi, Yuna says, voice softening. Malachi nods. Minjun talks about you constantly. Planets, correct? Malachi nods again. I have something for you. Yuna gestures to a low table. On it sits a book, a beautiful illustrated guide to the solar system in English. Malachi's eyes go wide. He looks at Serenity for permission. You can look, she says. He walks over, picks up the book carefully, opens it. His whole face lights up. Thank you, he says quietly. You're welcome. Minjun appears from another room, sees Malachi, runs over. They immediately sit on the floor with the book, pointing at pictures, talking in their shared language. Yuna watches them. Something shifts in her expression. Tea? She offers. Yes, thank you, Serenity says. They sit at the table. Yuna pours with precise, practiced movements. I owe you an apology, Yuna says without preamble. Serenity blinks. I'm sorry? For my initial reaction, for investigating you, for suggesting my son end your relationship. Yuna's hands are steady on the teapot, but her voice wavers slightly. I was protecting what I thought mattered. I was wrong. Mrs. Lee, please, let me finish. Yuna sets down the pot. I spent 50 years building this family's reputation. I thought that was love, protection. But when I saw the video, when I saw my grandson's face light up talking about your son, I realized I was protecting the wrong things. Serenity's throat tightens. Minjun has been different since he met you. More open, more joyful. He laughs now. Real laughs. Yuna's eyes glisten. I haven't heard him laugh like that since he was very small. He's a wonderful boy. Because of you. And my son. And your son. Yuna looks at the boys on the floor. They understand each other in ways we don't. And I think that's a gift. It is. Yuna meets her eyes. I don't know if I'll be good at this. At accepting difference. I was raised to value conformity, but I want to try. For Minjun. And for Malachi, if you'll allow it. Serenity's eyes burn. Of course. Then we have an understanding. They drink tea, talk carefully, about logistics, about holidays, about how to blend two families across continents. It's not perfect. There are moments of tension, of cultural misunderstanding, of awkwardness. But it's a start. Later, when the boys are playing in the courtyard, Yuna says quietly, "My husband would have hated this." "I'm sorry," Serenity says. "Don't be. He was wrong about many things. I'm trying not to repeat his mistakes." Yuna watches Minjun show Malachi how to feed the koi fish in the pond. They deserve better than what we gave Jaewon. You love your son. I do. But love and damage aren't mutually exclusive. I damaged him with expectations, with pressure. I won't do that to Minjun. That takes courage. It takes witnessing joy I'd forgotten was possible. Yuna smiles, small but genuine. Thank you for bringing that back. Serenity doesn't know what to say, so she just nods. When they leave that evening, Yuna hugs Minjun and does something unexpected. She crouches to Malachi's level. "Will you come back?" she asks. "Will you have more books?" he asks. She laughs, a real laugh. "Yes, many books." "Then yes." "Good." As they drive away, Jaewon is quiet. "You okay?" Serenity asks. "My mother laughed." "I heard." I haven't heard her laugh in, I don't know, years, maybe decades. Malachi has that effect on people. So do you. She takes his hand. They drive through Seoul, this city that's becoming familiar, becoming theirs, and she thinks maybe, just maybe, they can make this work. 3 months later, Serenity and Malachi split their time between New York and Seoul. It's not perfect. The logistics are exhausting. The time zones are brutal. But they make it work. Malachi enrolls in an international school in Seoul part-time. Minjun starts OT with a therapist Serenity recommends. The boys have playdates twice a week. Parallel play, shared silence, drawings exchanged like love letters. Jaewon and Serenity navigate their relationship slowly. No grand gestures. Just small moments, morning coffee, late-night talks, hands held under tables, stolen kisses when the boys aren't watching. Grace visits once, takes one look at Jaewon, and whispers to Serenity, "Girl, you're in trouble." "I know. Good trouble, though." "Yeah, good trouble." One evening, Jaewon asks Serenity to stay in Seoul permanently. "I can't uproot Malachi completely," she says. "His whole support system is in New York. What if we split time? 6 months here, 6 months there? That's not sustainable long term." "Then what is?" She doesn't have an answer. They fight. Make up. Fight again. Work through it. Yuna offers a solution. Jaewon steps back from daily operations, transitions to remote leadership. Han Logix opens a New York office. He splits his time. "I can't ask you to do that," Serenity says. "You're not asking. I'm choosing. But your company will survive. My family won't. Not without you." He cups her face. "I'm choosing you, both of you. All of us." Serenity kisses him. Long and deep and full of promises they're both terrified to make but brave enough to try. 6 months after that conversation, they're at JFK Airport. Same terminal, same chaotic energy. But everything is different. They're together, all 4 of them. Malachi and Minjun are wearing matching noise-canceling headphones. Blue for Malachi, red for Minjun. They're listening to the Silk Roads playlist. holding their respective backpacks, walking side by side. Serenity holds Jaewon's hand. He squeezes once. "You okay?" she asks. "Yeah. You?" "Yeah." An announcement blares overhead. Minjun flinches. Malachi reaches over immediately, squeezes his hand. Minjun relaxes, squeezes back. Serenity's chest swells with love so fierce it hurts. They board the plane to Seoul. It's not home yet, but it's getting there. As they settle into their seats, Jaewon and Serenity in one row, the boys across the aisle together. Minjun turns to his father. "Abba? Yeah, buddy? Is Serenity my Yama now?" "Iyama? Mom." Jaewon looks at Serenity. She looks back, eyes shining. "What do you think?" Jaewon asks gently. Minjun considers this seriously. Looks at Serenity. "Can I call you Iyama?" Serenity's voice breaks. "If you want to, sweetheart, but you don't have to. You can call me Serenity." "I want to call you Iyama." He pauses, uncertain. "Is that okay?" She can't speak, just nods, tears streaming. Malachi pipes up from across the aisle. "Does that mean Mr. Jaewon is my dad now?" Jaewon freezes, looks at Serenity, panicked. She laughs through tears. "What do you think, baby?" Malachi looks at Jaewon, studies him with those serious, assessing eyes. "Do you promise not to leave?" Jaewon's face crumples. "I promise. I'll mess up sometimes. I'll make mistakes. But I will never, ever leave you. Either of you. Okay?" Malachi nods decisively. "Then yes. You can be my dad." Just like that. The plane takes off. The boys fall asleep quickly, heads tilted toward each other across the aisle, still holding hands even in sleep. Serenity leans into Jaewon's shoulder. He wraps an arm around her, kisses the top of her head. "We're really doing this," she whispers. "We really are. I'm still scared sometimes. Me too. But I'm also happier than I ever thought possible. Me too." She tilts her head up, looks at him. "I love you." It's the first time she's said it out loud. His eyes go bright. "I love you too. So much." They kiss, soft and sweet, while their sons sleep, and the plane carries them toward tomorrow. Toward a life they're building together, one careful decision at a time. Toward a family that doesn't look like anyone else's, and that's exactly why it's perfect. 1 year later, the apartment in Seoul has changed. There are drawings covering the fridge, subway maps and planets side by side, weighted blankets on both boys' beds, a sensory corner in the living room with soft lights and textured pillows, plants by the window that Malachi insists on watering every Tuesday. It looks like a home now. Serenity works remotely, consulting for companies across 3 continents. Jaewon leads Han Logics from wherever they are: New York, Seoul, sometimes London for conferences. The boys switch schools seamlessly, teachers trained in neurodivergent support in both cities. It's not perfect. They still fight about logistics, time zones, parenting styles, cultural differences that pop up in unexpected moments. But they show up, every single day. Grace visits for Chuseok, the Korean harvest holiday. Watches Serenity and Jaewon navigate a family dinner with Yoona, Ji-hoon, and both boys. It's loud and chaotic and full of laughter. "You did good, Ren," Grace says later, helping with dishes. "We're still figuring it out." That's the point. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up. Grace bumps her shoulder. "And you're doing that, both of you." One evening, Serenity finds Minjun and Malachi in their shared room, working on something together. She peeks in quietly. It's a drawing, big, sprawling across 2 sheets of paper taped together. 4 people holding hands under a sky full of stars and trains and planets. Each person is detailed. Minjun's careful lines, Malachi's bold colors. "What's this?" she asks softly. "Our family," Malachi says simply, not looking up from his coloring. Minjun nods. "We made it together. For Halmione. For her wall." It's beautiful. Do you think she'll like it? Minjun asks, worried. She'll love it. Can we hang it up now? Malachi asks. Absolutely. Come on. They hang it in the hallway, right by the front door, so everyone who enters knows exactly what this family is built on. Later, after the boys are asleep, Serenity and Jaewon sit on the couch, exhausted and content. I never thought I'd have this, Jaewon says quietly. Have what? A family that actually feels like family. Not obligation, not performance, just people who love each other, messy, real, imperfect. We're definitely imperfect. I don't want perfect, I want real. He pulls her closer. I want this, every day, forever. Forever is a long time, not long enough. She turns to look at him. He's smiling, but his eyes are serious. Marry me, he says. Her heart stops. What? Marry me. Not because it makes sense logistically, not because of the kids, but because I love you. Because I want to build this life with you. Because I can't imagine waking up without you. He takes her hand. I don't have a ring yet. I wanted to ask first. Make sure you... She kisses him. Cuts off the words with her lips, her hands in his hair, her heart wide open. When she pulls back, she's crying. Yes, she says. Yes? Yes, I'll marry you. You ridiculous, wonderful man. Yes. He laughs, pulls her close, buries his face in her neck. She feels wetness on her skin, his tears mixing with hers. I love you, he whispers. I love you too. In the other room, Minjun calls out, Iyama, I need water. Malachi echoes, Dad, I can't find my notebook. Serenity and Jaewon look at each other, laugh through their tears. Welcome to real, she says. They get up, together, because that's what family does. They show up. They stay. They weather the chaos side by side. And when the world gets too loud, they turn down the volume together. 6 months later, they get married in a small ceremony in Brooklyn. Grace officiates. Yuna cries. Ji-hoon makes a speech about Jaewon finally learning to ask for help. Minjun and Malachi are ring bearers. They walk down the aisle side by side, matching suits, matching nervous smiles. When Serenity walks down the aisle, no father to give her away, just her own strong legs carrying her toward her future, Jaewon cries openly. She joins him at the altar, takes his hands. Grace says, These two people have already built a family. Today they're just making it official. Jaewon, your vows. Jaewon clears his throat. Serenity, you stopped when no one else did. You saw my son when I couldn't. You taught me that love isn't about control or perfection. It's about showing up. Every day, even when it's hard. His voice breaks. Especially when it's hard. I promise to show up for you. For our sons. For this messy, beautiful life we're building. Every single day. Serenity wipes her eyes. Jaewon, you fought for me when it would have been easier to let me go. You chose vulnerability over pride. You chose love over fear. She squeezes his hands. You showed me that family isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. I promise to be present. For you. For Minjun. For Malachi. For all of us. Through every hard conversation. Every cultural misunderstanding. Every time zone. Every airport. I choose you. I choose us. Every single day. They exchange rings, simple bands, nothing flashy. Grace grins. By the power vested in me by the internet and the state of New York, I now pronounce you married. Kiss already. They do. The small crowd cheers. Minjun and Malachi run up, hug them both. Are we a real family now? Malachi asks. We were always a real family, Serenity says. This just makes it official. Oh, okay. He thinks about this. Can we have cake now? Everyone laughs. They have cake. They dance. They celebrate. And when the night ends, the four of them walk home together through Brooklyn streets. 2 parents, 2 sons, one family built on choice and courage and love that refused to give up. Epilogue. 2 years later, Minjun is 9. Malachi is 9. They're in the same grade now, both thriving in a neurodivergent-friendly school in Seoul. Serenity's consulting firm has expanded. She trains companies worldwide on accessibility and neurodivergent inclusion. Jae-won stepped down as CEO, now serves as chairman of the board. He works from home 3 days a week, attends every school event, never misses bedtime. Yuna visits every Sunday, brings books for Malachi, subway maps for Minjun. She's learning to be a grandmother in ways her own mother never taught her. Grace moved to Seoul for a year, just to be nearby. She says it's for work. Everyone knows it's for family. Ji-hoon is dating someone, a kindergarten teacher who specializes in inclusive education. He brings her to family dinners. Everyone pretends not to notice he's glowing. One Saturday afternoon, the whole family is at the park. The boys are at the playground. The adults are on benches watching. "Remember when we met?" Jae-won says to Serenity. "At the airport. You stopped. You were terrified. I still am, sometimes. Me too. But we're doing it anyway." "Yeah, we are." Minjun runs over, breathless. "Yoma, Malachi says there might be a planet made of diamonds. Is that true?" Serenity grins. "Let's look it up together." Malachi joins them, tablet in hand. It's called 55 Kyungrae. It orbits its star so close that it's constantly on fire, but scientists think the carbon pressure might form diamonds. "Cool," Minjun says. They discuss space for 10 minutes. The boys animated, the parents engaged, everyone comfortable in their knowledge and curiosity. When the boys run back to play, Jae-won takes Serenity's hand. "Thank you," he says. "For what?" "For stopping. For staying. For building this with me. Thank you for fighting for us." They sit in the afternoon sun, watching their sons play, and know with absolute certainty that every hard moment, every scared choice, every act of courage was worth it. Because family isn't blood. It's not genetics or countries or cultures. Family is who stops when you're falling apart. Who stays when it gets hard. Who chooses you every single day, even when it would be easier to walk away. Family is messy and complicated and imperfect and real. And theirs is perfect exactly as it is. If this story reminded you that family is something we build every day, through patience, through showing up, through choosing love even when it's hard, then it did its job. These characters aren't perfect. They're beautifully, messily human. And maybe that's the most powerful love story of all. The one where people choose each other, over and over again, even when it would be easier to walk away. Want more raw, real stories that don't look away from the hard parts? Stories that celebrate neurodivergent families, cross-cultural love, and the courage it takes to be vulnerable? Subscribe and help us keep writing the narratives that matter. Your support means we can keep telling stories about families that don't fit the mold, because those are the families that need to see themselves on the page the most. Thank you for reading. Thank you for staying. Thank you for believing that love is something we build, not something that just happens. Now go hug your people, the ones who stayed when it got hard. They're your real family.